Very nice. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this Wednesday night's broadcast. I'm not your host, but I am your GM for the night. And welcome to Blades in the Dark. For those of you who do not know what World of Blades in the Dark is, allow me to give you a quick little rundown. It is set in a world where the gates of death were shattered, the sun was blotted out of the sky, and in the process of both of these, the spirits of every soul that was and ever will be was released upon the world to hunt for the living energy of, the living. The only way humans survive in this world now is by hiding in cities surrounded by gigantic lightning barriers, fueled by the blood of titanic sea demons, which they must harvest from alive, and then process and refine through an extremely hazardous process. The players in this game play as a group of criminals in one of these cities, be they thugs, drug dealers, thieves, or cultists, attempting to make their way through the world and essentially rise above in the powers of it, or, obtain whatever other objective they may have. And that is where we find ourselves tonight. The haunted city of Duskwall. With that said, perhaps we should go ahead and introduce... Oh no, who was... We lose someone important.
Yeah, we lost the audience.
It was Andres.
He's in.
That's fine. Okay, yep, nope, all good. So, with that said, perhaps we should go ahead and introduce our characters. Who would like to go first?
You're gonna have to volunteer people.
I'm gonna have to... Oh, okay. We'll just go down the line and I see you in roll 20 here. Zal, introduce your character.
Alright. Hi, I'm Zal. Sure you all know me. This is my channel. You know, I just let the people out of the cages once in a while and they do random crazy things like not get eaten by Zerd or something unfortunate like that, because they won't die for me. God damn it. I am playing Songbird/Viper. She is a playbook of my own that I'm trying to play test through this game. So there's gonna be some changes that will probably have to be made, lessons we're gonna learn over time, but we're gonna go with it. It's basically a playbook that will be a Venom, Kane from League of Legends, Heckle and Dr. Heckle or Mr. No, Heckle and whatever.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's like that. There's like Dr. Hyde isn't making sense.
The Heckle part?
Yeah, the Heckle part.
The truth is we're all hecklers here.
Right. That type of playbook. Multiple personality, like two souls in one body, either fighting over it or trying to learn how to coexist, some sort of theme of that. And we have that with Songbird/Viper, the two personalities, the nice-ish and the not nice-ish personalities. She was basically girl urchin trying to have to make her way on the streets. Making her way on the streets turned from being an informant and like thief into having to be a street corner worker. That ended up biting her in the butt over time. Even though it was sort of a comfortable living, which she fucking hated, she ends up getting killed, or the attempt to kill her, and this other weird inky alien type thing offered her the ability to survive if they became one. and she took it, and she's kind of back, and she now believes that she's like the second coming of one of our council members of our cult.
Hell yeah.
Very good
That's
indeed.
badass. Does that mean that we technically have to worship, like, that we have to be like, oh yeah, wow, hello, welcome, thanks for reincarnating, or whatever.
Hello, come on into our church. Over here we have
Oh,
refreshments.
hey,
and
God.
we have refreshments, and over here is our Messiah.
Yeah.
Well, I believe we're all supposed to be like avatars. The last thing. We're all technically
Okay. Makes
You're
sense.
you are all supposed to be avatars, the last airbender.
We are all Nickelodeon's Avatar, the Last Airbender.
Yeah, the good one.
Yeah, it's just we're all starting at different levels of ascension, you know?
Makes sense.
I mean, yeah, kind of. That's kind of the idea. I mean,
all right.
Who's next?
I'll go next. I'm playing. Hello, I am Simo, and I am playing Mako, who I don't have a picture for, but okay. He is basically a spider, and yeah, so his whole thing is he likes doing the culty stuff, but he wants to angle it more as in like, hey, why would we want to get like a bunch of like peasants like involved in our cult? His angle is more like, what if we got like a bunch of rich and influential people to like be a part of our cult? And like, so like every like his whole goal is very practical in the sense that like he doesn't want to be like, hey, we have a lot of followers. He wants to be like, hey, we have a lot of important followers, like, you know. And if like any group tries to give like the cult problems, he can be like, hold on, we have a guy. And it's like we either put a guy on the inside or we converted a guy on the inside. So that's sort of his end goal and his kind of raison d'etre for being in the cult is that sort of a power and influence over the various systems of the city.
Interesting.
Yeah. So he's a very much he very much is like a, hey, I'm gonna talk to you, but like basically is constantly just calculating if like hey, can you get converted? If you are converted, are you in like a position that's worthy of us being like, oh hey, hold on, we can use this, like if you convert to our religion, we can use your position as like a stepping stone for more things, you know?
Here's our 5-step program. The beginning
Yeah,
phase, only $100.
Listen, don't you ever feel like you have just too much aura? Well, with the Council of the Hollowed, we can, with the Cult of the Harrowed Council, we can remove some of that aura for a small fee, and once it's removed, you'll feel so much better. You only have to come in weekly and pay us a small tithe.
yeah,
And yeah, and remember, if you want to remove a lot of aura in between tithe visits, you just do favors for us, and the council will look favorably upon you in the next life, of course. Of course, not this life, not for any actual material gain, but in the next life, the council's got your back. Totally. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Very good. Very good. Yes.
I believe I would be next to them, right?
Yeah, you would be. You are next on the list.
Howdy, I'm Delatosa. I'll be playing Neos. And his main goal is a little different from the others, and he's not so much being, I'm for the council. Because of his heritage and stuff, which we'll find out more later. He's more of, hey, I'm going to use this council thing to hunt down the enemies of my and do it. Damn, I lost my thought.
You cut out for a second there at the enemies of your.
The enemies of my shard of the god, I guess, be the best way to say it.
Gotcha.
And he's using everybody else to further his means and the means of his part of the god. He doesn't have any kind of grandiose thing of like, yeah, we should rise in the ranks of the higher people, or bring in the poor people. It's just more or less, I'm here to make the god more powerful. I'll do that any way possible. With brute force, if nothing else. Or brute force and coercion. That's kind of it.
Short, sweet, to the point. I have no objections. And that will leave us with one last player.
I am Xanax, or whatever you prefer to call me. My character is Rayford Stockholm. He is a Tekarosi, and it's kind of obvious because he goes by the alias of Faces. Name not given to him. He didn't choose this life. He has weird ability where his face constantly shapeshifts when he's not focusing on it. He was a city representative, not in a big kind of way. Just imagine like he ran a neighborhood watch kind of way. And some things that have happened the way he planned. He kind of got blackmailed, bankrupt, so forth. And now he's part of this council, and since he's kind of lost all meaning of his past life, he's trying to figure out exactly what he is, which is kind of hard when you can't even tell what you are. He's more of the opposite of Temo's character. He's actually trying to reach out for the common folk. He is mostly trying to help people find out who they are, which is kind of helping him find out who he is.
Interesting.
And that's about it. He's just a very nice chap.
Yeah, it's a very nice chap who happens to be in a cult. That old story. That old saga dance routine.
We need at least one person where people can be like, yeah, they're kind of nice.
I'm kind of nice. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I was gonna say we had two people who are kind of nice. I mean, Skimmo isn't inadvertently not nice.
Are you saying I'm not nice?
You are objectively the most evil of us all.
I am removing people's auras for them.
I'm blatantly mean, so.
That is a very needed service.
If we need somebody to blatantly be like, hey, get the fuck in or get out.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I forgot. I don't know if I'm allowed to curse on stream. My bad, Joe.
Normal cult things.
Normal cult things.
Normal cult. Yes. Yes. So that does
it's how
lead
Harper
us...
intended it. It's how cults work.
Yeah, how the good Lord Harper intended it for it to be. Now, with that all said, I suppose there's no point in beating around the bush. We are, as you probably have all figured out by now, dear audience, going to be playing a cult in this game. And we are all very excited to do it. All aside here, normally when I GM games, usually start off as things like bravos or hawkers, the aforementioned thugs and drug dealers of the system. And just by pure happenstance, without fail, it transitions into a cult.
So we're just skipping the early stages.
We are actually
getting around the middle.
Actually, my first time starting with cult as the crew type. So I'm very curious to see how you all lose your religion and become assassins. That's literally what I'm saying here.
You gotta keep the lights on.
I thought it was going to be hawkers. Cult and the hawkers.
It could be. Perhaps it's a cult into other cults. Perhaps that's just how this transformation occurs.
Is there a super cult? Can we like tweet John Harper about this? Is there such a thing as a super cult?
The Turbo Cult.
Omega cult.
We roll all the other cults in the city into our banner. We're like, yeah, they're basically the same thing. Come join us.
Oh, we go from cult to politicians.
I was going to make a comment like that, but I didn't want to get real. So it's like, anyways, moving on.
What is the government?
Zal, sure feels good to have a Twitch channel, doesn't it?
Get back in your cage.
No.
All right. What's the opening scenario, Great Blades Master?
Yeah, it might be a little bit of background noise here you're hearing, but as that opens up, allow me to read off what we have here, if I can find it. Where's that handout at? Here's a second ago.
Yeah, we were going to be sponsored by Roll20, but then they declined us. And not only did they decline sponsoring us, but they messed with Morix boards, and like all these folders where all these files should be are just gone.
What?
It's no.
Wild. I thought Roll20 was a good computer role-playing game system that you should use for your home or professional roleplay game.
Wink. Yes, but I have found it, so we can.
A good competitor to Zoom.
Despite the odds, I have managed to locate. So
I thought we were just evens here.
You say what now?
I said I thought we were just evens here. I didn't know there were any odds.
You're only even if your name is Steven. That's how it works. So, the opening situation here for all of you, and for the entertainment of our dear listeners, the docks teem with life this time of year, as the Leviathan hunters prepare to ship out to the sea to track their quarry, hiring and press-ganging sailors, criminals, and common folk alike. One of the largest of these ships, the LHS Mercurial, property of the Pendrin family, has lost much of its crew in its previous voyage and still struggles to pull its numbers back so it can continue to fulfill its quotas. The Pendrin family have been silent about this, letting Captain Gabor handle the matter as he sees fit, which he does with roughness befitting of a former overseer of the Asha mines of Aruvia. But there are those looking inland as well, as bluecoats have increased their presence around the menagerie in response to a number of animal mutilations that have occurred there. Though they and the inspectors handling the case have done all they can to keep the word of the event hushed, speculation about it runs rampant. Some say the animals were turned inside out, while others claim they were cut up and stitched back together in horrific fashion, while the tamists say they were simply drained of all blood and left hanging in their stalls. The truth of the matter is unclear. Then the criminal elements of the city come into play, as Ironhook opens its doors to disgorge its on-parole inhabitants back into Duskwall, halfway homes taking in those without family, property, or gang to return to. One of these is in the docks, an outreach program of the Arms of the Weeping Lady, known as the Soothing Eve, known as the Soothing Grieve to those who distrust the Weeping Lady, and has found itself somewhat overburdened by the recent influx, though they continue to do all within their power to aid. There is advantage to be levied. Let the Lord's will be done. And this is where we enter our scene here. Our crew has set up, our little cult has set up their base of operations within one of the few rail cars that at one point made their way out here into the dark reaches. There was an experiment for a time to have railroads cross all throughout the city, largely during the mining days of Duskwall, when it was primarily a Skovlander colony. Unfortunately, since then, it has just proven more economical to transport things by canal or by passenger or cargo cart throughout the streets of the city. And so, railways and rail cars like this have simply been left abandoned to collect dust and vegetation. This is where we open up, and this is where we see our crew of miscreants set up their little operation. What are each of you doing within your lair?
I'm bossing the other ones around. Like, I'm acting very haughty about it. Or like whatever we have set up, I'm like instructing like no, the couch needs to go there, and like, we need to set up the right optics for when people come in here.
I'm staring out the window very like anxiously, looking at all the people walking off the boats onto the docks. And like, oh, these new souls to convert.
And all of their pocketbooks, don't forget that.
I just look back at you very confused, like, but we're doing good, converting them to the gun.
You will be doing good, alright. We'll have this place looking like a very fancy place. I was gonna say the Ritz, but I don't think that exists in this world.
It would not.
Unfortunate.
Suppose I'll just kind of be guarding and listening to what they're saying and chime in. Well, they'll either be converted or they'll disappear. No one needs to learn of us. It's going to be.
But I'm sure they can be converted. I mean, they're just lost souls looking for proper worship. They just need to be guided to the correct path. They must absolutely understand what good we're doing and that they can follow a better way.
That's why no one will ever not follow. At least no one that'll be seen anymore.
Yeah, Songbird seems a little concerned and worried, and then maybe looks back to the couch as Mako maybe like nudges it or like tries to make a complaint about it, and you just see her face just like twitch a little, her eyes narrow. Just, it's fine where it is. Stop it. Leave the couch alone.
I like how half our cult believes in the cult and the other two just want to make profit. Oh wait, no, I'm misreading this. One of us wants to make profit. Eos really wants his god to be all powerful.
Goddamn right.
I mean, greed is a cult thing, isn't it? Right?
What was the name of that ship? That was big important ship.
The sorry, not HMS. That's a different classification entirely. The LHS Mercurial.
Now, does this one stand out from all the rest, and can I see it from where we're standing?
From where you're standing, I think so. It would be located on one of the larger docks. It is not the... well, it's one of the largest. By far not the largest. I believe the largest ones belong to the Chaothan set, I believe, families. Foreign Eruvian families. Don't really have much representation in Duskwall, aside from the Leviathan Hunters. As far as the ships owned by the elites of Dustwall, the city council pretty much only. The Mercurial and the Pendrin family is kind of the end-all, be-all.
I kind of look at the ship and kind of point at it as like, this ship is very large, but there's not that many. Can we tell there's not a lot of people walking near it?
It's common knowledge that the Mercurial has been understaffed for some time.
I kind of look at it like there's a very large ship, but there's many souls upon it. Maybe we can use this opportunity as a to souls onto it. Good, rightful souls.
Did you find out where their next book or their next destination is?
Yeah, I gotta agree with Nios.
Neos.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Nios here. Maybe we should try and figure out where they're all heading to. You know, as much as I would love to meet and greet and shake hands with the fine folk coming off the boat, don't you think it would do a lot more, be a lot more efficient if we went and talked to like maybe the landlord or the inn owner that's housing all these new residents as they're coming into the city? After all, what better advertising would there be than to have the warm, friendly face greeting them? Tell them about our nice little institution here.
Oh, I do love a good meeting. You know, like a tea party. That sounds lovely.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of words how to describe my character because he always has this nervous tick where he has his hands close together, kind of like in a pyramid where his fingers are touching, the tips are touching, but he just like keeps silently clapping his hands. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah, I got you. Yeah.
So like weird jelly kind of, or like jellyfish kind of slow clap thing.
You put your tips together and then like just like bring them and like take them apart, but keeping the tips, right?
Like it's kind of opening up like as a Venus flytrap, but always moving them back to just his fingertips.
Oh, okay.
He's always doing this.
Creepy.
Yeah. I guess we. How do we go? How do we go about finding the proprietors of this ship?
I mean, their names are plastered all over the ship. At least the family name. I'm sure we could go and ask around and find where the family lives. At least their office.
I'm sure if we talk to the right people, we could find out what interesting things they do in their downtime. Parties and alcohol and drugs. I'm sure they know plenty about these people.
Do I know a bartender? I mean, does anyone know a bartender? Like the most important ally we can have.
I don't think I do.
I know him, but I'm not good friends with him.
I mean, if you know him, then you know him. He's just not your like best buddy ever. I'm sure a bribe here or there, but
Yeah. Just because she's not your favorite contact doesn't mean you can't get in contact with him. It just isn't going to be as easy to do it to work with him. Like he's not going to pull favors for you for the sake of your friendship. He's going to want something in return, undoubtedly.
I think this would be good opportunity. I think I have a good idea. At least we know of a good bar I can somewhat trust. Usually how these games go, don't we? Just start at a bar and just like, alright, time.
Time to find someone to talk to.
Yeah. How do you say this name? Clara? Clara?
Let me have a
I
look
don't-
here. Are you talking
Claire.
about
Clyar.
Clyra?
Clyra.
Yes.
Kind of just continue doing my nervous tick and like can visit Clara's bar. She's somewhat friendly to me.
You want some company?
Be very good to meet all the sailors.
Is it a busy bar though?
Is it a busy bar?
Clyra's?
Is it close to the docks? Is my question. So I imagine.
Oh yeah, no. The Clyra's bar is located within the docks. It's a
I mean, like, is it
somewhat
like
refurbished place known as Sailor's Rest. It's nothing too spectacular about it, but you know, it
Oh, dear.
does have an appeal to the seafarers. Good ale, if nothing else. Located in roughly the same neighborhood as you are.
Oh, it's close, and sailors go to it on the occasion. But I think it'll be a good start to talk to these seafarers.
Well, I'll certainly come along. I just hopefully they're not rather aggressive sailors. Head twitches a little bit. I don't want to have to cause a mess.
Very good. Do not make a scene, or the gods will be angry.
I'll continue to help. What's his name? Mako.
Yeah, I'll show up too, I guess.
I don't know. Whatever Mako is doing. You want this couch moved?
I mean,
Scout?
The couch
The couch.
Yeah.
that you were talking about
You
earlier.
wanting the couch being moved, and you wanted everything great.
Yeah. We gotta make this place look presentable, to the prospective clients.
Yeah, I'm not too good at talking to people.
Well, you leave the talking to me, big guy. I'll get us sorted out. Don't you worry.
If it's too early to split the party, Gemo, we do have a noble that's very chummy with our cult.
Well, then, yeah, I can go with you to talk with the noble.
Oh,
I'm just
we can do two.
just giving you.
We can do two
Just give-
scenes. We can. Some of us
No.
can talk
Well,
to
I was
Bar.
saying we don't need to split the group on in the first 30 minutes. Like,
That's what I was just saying. If
follow-
if you didn't want to go talk to the tavern owner, you can talk to an actual rich person.
No, we can go talk to them.
To the sailor's rest.
Two of us, sorry.
Yeah, so Sailor's Rest is as I described. It's not a rundown. It's not a dive bar by any stretch of the imagination, but it also is most certainly not a real upscale place either. It's about what you might expect from these sort of place a sailor might frequent. Fairly
There's a bunch-
average on the whole.
There's a bunch of fish bones on the wall.
Yes, actually. It's loud, it's rowdy, it's not at all a relaxing place.
Ironic.
It's also not impossible to make your way through it with a modicum of effort. You gotta do a bit of pushing around sometimes. Sometimes someone is thrown out in front of you, etc., etc.
Is Clyra at the bar? Like, bar area?
Clyra? You don't... Is Clyra a man or a woman, if I ask?
What was that?
Is Clyra a man or a woman?
I imagine a woman. That sounds like a woman's name.
That makes sense to me, yeah. You don't see her at the bar. Not right away, anyway.
I'm just gonna stand very awkwardly at the end of the bar, just standing there looking at everyone walking around.
Are you doing anything in particular? Looking for anything in particular? Or...
I'm just standing there doing the thing with my hands and just waiting for someone to just walk up to me and just... I'm not focusing on my face, so it's just doing whatever the fuck it wants to do at the moment. It's just... the only thing that you can actually tell of my face at the moment is just this very big smile. Eyes are going in their own directions and just things are morphing. I'm just standing there, just waiting for someone to come and ask me a question. A very open, present way.
Yeah, I think you get what you want after maybe a minute or so of this going on. Hey, how would I describe this guy? Sea-scarred, salt-weathered, and probably in his middle ages, Skovlander sailor saunters up to where you stand. He's very clearly inebriated to a great degree. He slaps a hand on your shoulder. Oh, you! I've not seen you be here before. You're, no.
I just keep doing my nervous tick and look at it. It's like, oh, no, sir. I frequent here some due occasion. I've seen you before. You seem like a sailor.
I am. Been sailing with merchant vessels for a good 15 years now. And you strike me as a type who's been on a boat before, too, huh?
Yes, it was very unpleasant, but I'm in here now. It is a very nice place.
Yeah. So how long have you been here?
Kind of sit there for a minute and I stop, silently clapping my hands and down at him very concernedly because I have to count my fingers. And hands are shaking. I kind of look at it as like, well, 1, many years. I kind of go back to what I was doing.
You've been here for years. That's funny. That's funny, stranger. That's funny. What?
It's very, very funny.
So what do you do here, stranger?
Oh, I'm a religious man. I spread the word of our gods.
A preacher's boy. You're here to, give us a sermon, preacher? You're from the church?
Oh, yes. I'm from the Harrowed Council.
Wait, hold on. I want to confirm. I just wanted to ask this question real quick. Because I feel like I should ask this and I should know. Cults are they technically illegal?
No, they're just frowned upon because the main church is the Church of the Ecstasy of the Flesh. So everyone else is that's why we're cults and not like an established, respected church. But we're not technically illegal.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that like us being like, hey guys, we have our own gods. I want to make sure that that's like cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it was illegal, my character's just happy to spread the word. He wouldn't change anyways.
But at Rayford's, like, I guess being prompted of what he does, I want my character to move close behind Rayford and to keep a watch on him. And the drunken man.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy's like, he's ostensibly getting chummy, but I think it's like real obvious to you, character's name again, Rayford, that this guy, he's looking to pick a fight. He keeps poking at you, he keeps asking you personal questions. He's trying to get you to tell him to buzz off so he can like start something.
Oh, he's not gonna get it though. My character's too nice to start a conflict.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He just gave him straight answers. That's it.
Yeah, so I think this goes on for maybe a few good minutes until this guy finally, like, over the time you like watch this guy's face go from a kind of drunken amusement, hey, how you doing, buddy? Want us to do something, etc., 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 to a mixture of bored and angry would be the best way to describe. He's not getting what he wants out of you. He's wasting his time. He's wasted his time, and he's just sick of trying to deal with it. After a while, he just kind of shoves off of you and roughly walks away.
I want to follow him.
You see him go back to a group of other sailors, mixture of Scotlander and Akarosi primarily. They all kind of eye you. They all kind of keep staring you down as you keep getting closer.
I'm going to put my hand on the shoulder of Rayford. Bud, I don't believe they want your service. I would let them be for now. I don't quite think they like Tychorosis.
Sorry to bother you, gentlemen. I will be going. If you want to hear more of council, please just ask.
Yeah, they are like one of them kind of narrows his eyes at you. You kind of see him roll something around in his hand for a moment. You can't quite make out what it is. That's just a surface glance.
Is there something I can roll for that?
Absolutely, this should be a study roll.
I'm good at that. Well, I'm kind of good at it.
It would most certainly be a study roll. Although, if you want to try a different approach, maybe just tackle him and wrench whatever it is he has in his hand away from him. Good skirmish.
Oh, it's too nice for that. Is it what position is it?
Given that he's got all, I'm gonna say that's a risky position with a limited effect. Cause he's got all his buddies around, which they would intervene the moment you try something.
Bonus dice 0.
Well, unless you want to push yourself.
No, not for this. I don't see anything.
Well, so much for that.
Yeah, you don't see anything, and well, let me read off to you your options under this circumstance. I'm gonna let me wait for them to load up properly, of course.
While we're waiting, subscribe now to Zelkry.
Do it. Do it.
It's in Discord in
You
the chat.
see, you have. Listen, we know you have an Amazon Prime account because everyone has an Amazon Prime account. Jeff Bezos sees you, and Jeff Bezos is disappointed that you are not using your free Amazon Prime Twitch subscription to subscribe to twitch.tv/Zalkary.
Your subscription will make sure it goes right to allowing the more regular and extra appearances of the Cage crew, so they're not starving in the basement.
Please, we're so hungry.
Please feed
I
us.
don't know what you're talking about. I ate my cage mate last week. I'm pretty full.
That's why he's in 2 cages.
You think there's 2 cages?
You see, when we finally do escape from the cages, we're gonna realize that the basement is also fortified and we can't escape from it either.
Right. But your subscription can give them extra meals and we can do more tabletop. So subscribe this now or donate bits.
Please. Stay. Go.
So, slow internet. So, what happens here is that things go badly. You suffer harm, a complication occurs, you end up in a desperate position or you lose this opportunity. I'm going to say that you both have lost this opportunity and there's going to be a further complication arising from this, particularly as you see this guy pocket whatever he was palming in his hand into his jacket pocket and move away from the rest of the group.
Alright, so they mad at us for like me looking at it?
Yeah, you were nosy.
Oh. I guess when your eyes or get very when your face turns to nothing but eyes, I guess it becomes a little obvious.
Right?
Are they telling us to go away, or are they like actively making a conflict?
Just waiting. He's just waiting for the background noise to not be as bad.
Battle music begins.
Yeah, they're supposed
Time
to
to go fight him. No, can I come and interrupt?
I'm standing behind him in case anything does go bad.
I do apologize. Xanax, what was that you said? Could you repeat that?
Are they about to fight us, or are they like, you guys need to fucking leave right now?
It's very much the latter. This, the guy who was staring you down intently is, like, moved away from the group, but you do get a vibe of leave now from the rest of the guys there.
I'm just not there for them. I'm looking for Clyra, so I'm like, kind of like bow and like fidget my way away from them. So awkward interaction from them. That's pretty much how I'm just trying to get away with this. It's just, he's weird. Let him be. Unless they want to fight, then I gotta do therapy for them. I have no fighting skills.
Going to intervene in any fight about to happen.
Yeah. So
No, I guess we just wait for Clyra then.
you hear me, or is he still?
Yeah, he's muted again.
You heard that?
He says he still hears you.
Yeah, we just have to go through it. Unmute.
Cool. So what are you two guys doing?
Is Clyra the bar owner, or?
He is the owner.
Yeah. Well, I suppose we'll just wait, and so we're waiting. I suppose with you trying to look out for the owner of this fine establishment, and see what little webs we can weave.
I don't think you'll find very many nobles in here.
You see, noble is more of a it's more of a comparison rather than a singular descriptive title. You see, amongst all these people, a noble could be a bar owner, a shopkeep, someone who has money. Because these people don't have shit.
Well, I mean, these are potentially children of nobles, these sailors and whatnot. They're earning their keep and their future fortune from the family. I mean, certainly should probably consider that. Even if they are smelly and grisly and touching all the time.
Yeah, all great descriptors of noble children who don't inherit the fortune.
He has a point there.
Everyone is welcome in the arms of a god.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't think you'll find many people that want to be welcomed into the arms of the god here either. Faces.
Well, no, a lot of them could certainly use the gods.
But I don't think they'll. Most of these sailors, I don't believe, like Tycherusia. So Mr. Face there with his ability won't be very accepting.
The right matter of the right way to convince them.
Gotta get really still.
How much longer do we think Clara will be?
Not much longer. You all start having a conversation here over the course of the next few minutes, but eventually you do see Clara, step back out from the bag. She seems to be wiping her hands off. She's a fairly tall Skovlander woman with her hair done in braids down her back. Her arms are tattooed up and down with runic markings. She actually has a lot physically in common with kind of the appearance of some of these sailors, and you can make of that sort of what you will from that alone. But she goes back behind her bar. She gets back to her work, and you have an opportunity to take care of whatever it is you need to take care of with her. She's just gone back to serving drinks, and there is a bit of a lull for you to go and speak with her.
We're ready to speak to her, or are we still gonna eye the room?
All you.
Kind of. What should I do? I'm gonna wave her down and just continue staring at her until she notices me staring at her. Right. Every minute she doesn't walk over here, a new eye appears.
Like Songbird leans in. It's like, is this how you socialize? Just wait till someone approaches you.
Yes.
In a nutshell, yes.
Right.
Or you be the person approaching. There are many avenues.
I mean, if we're here to talk, you should probably go do the behavior of talking. You're just sitting here.
Very rude to interrupt people. I wait till they're finished. But if you want me to be assertive, I can do so. I kind of just stand up and walk towards the entrance of the bar. I kind of pretend I'm gonna go behind the bar.
Yeah, I think
the moment you look like you're moving behind the bar, she holds up her hand. Not another step closer.
I stop and I'm like, "Hello, how are you?"
All right. You've come to the bar. You're looking for me. What is it you want?
Oh, information. Yes.
Information.
Yes,
What kind of information?
I brought customers. I mean, associates. That big empty ship. We need information on that.
You talking about the Mercurial?
That is the name, yes. It's very vacant at the moment.
She yells something at one of her fellow bartenders in Scavish. Don't you have a Scav background? Or have a background that might give you an idea of how to speak Scavish?
Not I.
Not this time. I'm an Akarosi.
I mean,
so
maybe being a Deathland scavenger, I might have run into some of them, but I don't think it'd be anything like substantial. It'd just be like broken words.
More or less, unfortunately, yeah.
Hello?
With that.
Hello.
Okay.
Are you a Scotlander?
I am not.
Okay, we're out of.
Would you be able to understand her?
A Scav?
Yeah,
Can I
speak.
roll a consort
Hmm.
to see if I'm well versed in the languages of the people?
I really like the use for a consort roll. Oh yeah, go for it.
Sure. I assume just controlled standard.
I'll call it a fortune roll in this circumstance, I think.
Do I understand Scav? So how's a 5?
That was a 5. 5 will get you there. It's not full, but you understand more or less what's being said. You essentially all she's saying is that she's hopping into the back and she needs him to watch the front in case anyone shows back up. There's a bit of confusion in your translation if anyone here is a particular someone or just anyone of note. But that's just something you can't quite make out, unfortunately.
So they're talking about maybe someone specific, but we're not sure who or why.
Yes, very much. So, she puts down whatever glass she had been polishing at the time and kind of nods into the back room she just came from for you all to follow her. As she starts making her way into the back.
Songwer definitely follows, happy to get out of the busy, rowdy bar. Yeah.
Quick question.
Yes.
We have pamphlets for our religion. This is a group question. Do we? I gotta know. I'm just gonna throw them on tables. I'm not gonna like hand them to people as we walk by. I'm just gonna like put it on a table, let someone find it later.
I'd imagine it's like crayons on napkins that we've done ourselves. Like it's not like actually printed at like a shop or something. It's all like hand done. So it's like whoever had the best writing and whatnot.
Yeah, it's really bad quality paper too. You don't really have access to a whole lot.
I mean, if it's gonna be like that, then sure, we'll do those kind of. But I want you to be Jehovah's Witnessing and go up to some store and be like, "Hey, you want this pamphlet here? It's God. You want to go talk to God?"
Have you heard the good news?
Yeah.
I imagine if they let me write it, it's just ineligible. You can't make out any words on it.
Very nice. Yeah, if you guys want, you can have like something to that effect you can like leave lying around. I don't see any reason why not.
Gotta spread the good word.
Yeah, exactly.
What do we see when we go behind the bar or wherever she takes us?
That is essentially just a very small branch of hallways in the back there, just literally 2 directions. She's waiting at the intersection, like, has you follow her to the right to one of the back rooms. Essentially, it's just an office area, though. There's a bit of a coppery smell in the air, and you think you see a bit of red discoloration on the floor before she moves a chair over for you for one of you to sit down in at the desk, but you can't really be sure.
That will, or the coppery smell will put Neos on edge. He'll kind of like thumb his dagger. He won't take it out, but he'll have his hands.
I kind of like make a very loud, like, smells like home.
Does it now? Alright. What is it you want to know about the Mercurial, and why are you asking?
I think it's obvious we want you to spread the word of the god, but we're curious if they needed help and if we were able to talk to help. If anyone wants to translate that for her.
Sprechen help the looking for.
I think she speaks more than Scout.
Alright. And why have you come to me for help with your little divine mission?
Well, you know sailors, and they need sailors, so I was wondering if you knew how to convince sailors to a better life.
I know how to convince sailors to buy a drink.
Oh, usually a lot of religions need healthy drinks, such as wine. Maybe we can talk about a deal of that on another time, though.
Look, if you want to get to talking with someone about aboard that ship, you need to find one of the sailor bosses. Not the captain, not one of his lackings, one of the honest folk that are actually organizing these ruffians.
Oh, they must have very deep pockets.
No, they're broke as hell.
Well, we tried. That's our cue. Well, I'll be seeing you all later. I'm returning to the fort.
Don't get yourself killed, boys.
Rayford, we did our best, but there's nothing for us here.
Oh, what if we convince them to give us the boat?
She laughed at that. There's not a damn way in hell you're going to be getting your hands on anything that the Pendragon's own.
Well, actually, there's a very good chance that if we don't get what the Pendragon's own, they'll be going to hell. But that's a whole other matter, actually. So
Is that so?
Yes, we're actually quite acquainted on those matters.
Tell you what, I'm no friend of the Pendragons, but I can give you some names if you want to try and find some people. And she just kind of waits for your response.
Well, you know what? I suppose there's at least some worth in the name, so if you could get us in touch, I would be... I won't say most obliged, I would be middlingly obliged for your services. I might thank you every now and again.
Yeah, she gives you 3 names.
Mm-hmm.
Luthor Hark, Oromino, and Bathelsor.
Luther, Hark, Oromino, Bathelsor.
His name sounds like a dinosaur.
So does this Bathelsor not have a last name? What is he, some sort of commoner?
No. Don't know what his deal is. He comes in here from time to time wearing that mask of his. Never orders a drink, just sits in one of the corners.
Oh. Well, sounds like he could use a friend, don't you think, Rayford?
Oh, yes, very. Rayford has also never ordered a drink here too.
Well, you two would just be ideal peas in a pod.
Kind of like nod my head very energetically and clapping my hands faster.
You two, I'm sure you'll hit it off, and hey, you might get our first convert, but I think we'll have at least we have 3 names to work on now. That could lead us down to some more large scale acquisitions.
Yes, if these people are low on funds, they could probably donate the boat to our cause.
True. I suppose there is some worth in infrastructure and items of value as opposed to just cold hard cash. So, at least in this turbulent opening period we've found ourselves in.
Whatever you people do, it better not come back to me.
Well, why wouldn't you want it coming back to you? After all, I can guarantee that you would probably find yourself much happier if you were to begin associating with our organization. We offer many very wonderful benefits.
I have to pull enough teeth out of my floor already. I'm uninterested in having the blue coats and spirit wardens shove their noses in it.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about the blue coats there. We'll deal with we'll be taking care of that issue all in due time.
Think you're tough stuff, don't you?
Oh no! I don't fight. No, you see, I believe in eliminating. I believe in the soft influences, soft power. It's quite paradoxically much more powerful than having a bunch of thugs be able to beat up whoever you target. When those thugs are on your payroll.
Sure. Right. If there's nothing else, get out.
Does anyone else have questions for her?
Well, we'll be giving you some space, letting you have some air. But in the meantime, give our offer some thought. And here's my card. And I'd like to hand her a little slip of paper that has just like a little insignia on it, and it just says it just says the Children of the Harrowed Council on it, because obviously we're not going to be calling it the Cult of the Harrowed Council in polite society.
Sounds like a coward's move.
Well, no, because we're not a cult. We are a legitimate religious organization.
The gods are real.
Well, Mako and Rayford are speaking to the lady. I want to go and sidle next to Songbird and be like, so these are the guys that are supposed to talk to people for us?
Okay.
They're supposed to bring in more converts?
What was the question? Sorry.
As I wanted to whisper to you, these are the guys that are supposed to bring more converts for us. They seem rather awkward, brash.
That happens sometimes. Not everyone is a winner like us.
Ow.
We might just have to, like, shape them into what we need to be for the good of the Harrowed Council. Sometimes these things just need some days.
A little toughening at first, I mean, I'm sure.
I want to ask her, is there anything I can do for your business, ma'am? I'm asking her if she needs anything done.
Yeah, she's not. She's definitely not forthcoming if there is anything. This would require you to try and make a roll here. Or try and persuade her.
Where's my character? Oh god, this is the wrong group. Where is ours? There it is. There's me. And well, can I use sway? Is this like a sway or is this like a
I
sword
think
or
a
sway?
sway makes sense here, yeah.
What's the position?
We'll call this control with standard effect.
Five.
Alright. So control with standard effect on a 5. Let me open my reference here so I can be 100% sure I've got this right. You do it, but there's a consequence. You suffer harm, a complication occurs, you have reduced effect, or you end up in a desperate position. I'm gonna say that your effect is reduced here.
Okay, what does that mean?
So in the circumstances of this, she does have something she could maybe use your help for, but she's going to have to think it over a little bit before she tries to wrangle you in to help her with it.
Good, because I need to think about what I can get from her in return.
Perhaps if that's something you want to spend your time doing, you could attempt to resist this complication to get the full effect. That would come at the risk of costing you some stress.
The guy clearly has social anxiety, so I'll go with take some stress points. How many points do I take off?
So you'll want to go into your character sheet.
I'm looking at the stress and trauma.
Yes. But what you want to do is you want to roll a resist roll by clicking on, under this case, the resolve button.
So just click the resolve.
Just click resolve.
Got it. And a 6, a 3, and a 4, or 6.
Crit.
Impressive.
I dead? What the fuck is this?
No,
Yes,
you're good.
Yo.
So when you crit, when you crit on a resolve roll, a resist roll like this, not only do you suffer no stress, but you would also clear one stress if you ever had any.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you're good.
You are
Cool.
100% fine. Yeah, so
If Ojak comes in this bar, he probably told her what I do to relieve stress.
if who comes to this bar?
Ojak, my the person who helps me with my vice.
Ah, Ojak, yeah. No, Ojak spends most of his time over in Silk Shore. He has his own things that he does there. But Clyra, kind of rolls her tongue around her mouth for a second, then says, "Well, if you're up for it, I do have some debts that need collecting. Some people I need off my back. Something I can pay you for, if nothing else."
Right.
She's more or less eyeing up your character, Delatoso, Neos, right?
Yeah.
She
when
says,
she says debt collecting, Neos kind of perks up and looks at her. Sounds like my kind of work.
"Don't get too hasty. These aren't common people. They were Leviathan hunters. Were being the operative word. Only so much a man can take out on those oceans before they have to give it up."
All the more fun.
Oh, I do love comforting the elderly.
Oh, there's nothing elderly about them. They're in their prime.
Oh, well, very good to have a story of them. What are Leviathans just like monsters?
Yeah, they're like big Cthulhu monsters, I think, or something.
They're gonna
They
fucking
are the
hate me.
monsters of monsters. They are the titanic sea demons I mentioned before.
Oh yeah.
It's said no two are the same, and it's also said that the gigantic island to continent-sized bodies the sailors find and extract blood from are just the tip of the iceberg of them and what lurks deep beneath the surface of the void sea.
So is it a deal? We do a favor for a favor. Kind of look back at Neos. I kind of look back at Neos to see if he approves of helping me collect debts.
When I see you look back, I'll just kind of nod my head assuring.
We agree to our debt collecting and get an unnamed favor from her.
Unnamed favors are good. That makes them gives us some wiggle room.
Okay. Yeah, with that, she just nods and like motions you to get the hell out of her office. And yeah, what do you all go and do after you leave?
Before we leave, I want to ask for like names or at least locations where they might be, descriptions.
We can't
of
really.
the debt owers.
Cheapskate bastards who need to pay.
Oh, they'll pay.
Yeah.
Yeah, could you catch me?
Yeah, she gives you. Where would she send you for these guys? They're all located here in the docks. There's not.
Yeah, you don't have to give me like specifics. Just like she gave us the info.
Yeah. Most of them are surprisingly, perhaps, located very close to the water. Kind of in like their own, either in like a little house on their own, or the Balthasar fellow was actually specifically she told you that specifically that he just kind of hangs out in a little camp on the waterfront.
Is he one of the debt owers?
He is. No, I'm sorry. Right, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm getting confused. Yeah, no, not Balance, but one of them does hang out on the waterfront. His little tent, little camp. Most of them are fairly close together, though, and they frequent the same places.
Went from occult to Bravos very quickly.
We're a bit of everything, actually. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
We're gonna end with this going from cults to. We're gonna do everything. Yeah.
He's drug smuggled.
That's a sign of a good business. Adaptability.
All right. So,
What's our going plan for this matter with the ship, then?
a few options here for you to go over. He didn't really give you a time frame on this either, since this is essentially a favor you're pulling for in return for a favor. So you've got kind of all the time in the world.
No, I meant the main thing we're trying to do.
At the big boat. Big fucking empty boat we're gonna donate to us.
You want them to donate his ship to us?
I mean, how else is he gonna pay his tithes?
I could think of a way. Hey Rayford, did you hear that they're letting out those prisoners on parole to those half houses?
Yes. Oh, these wonderful converted souls. So eager. Start anew.
I think for now we can leave the ship alone, and you and Mako and I and Songbird go visit the either visit the ship houses, or not ship houses, the half houses, or those debt collectors. The ship is just kind of empty at the moment. I don't think we need to worry about the ship. The half houses have nothing to do with the ship.
I'm surprised you actually made that a key point in the introduction. I just said that as an idea to him privately because I had a question about my other fly friends.
Yeah, you could just go attempt to find some of these halfway houses if you were so inclined.
Do I know is Harker one of them?
Harker the Jailbird?
Yeah. Is he still in prison though?
Yeah, I think for the time being he's still in prison. He's on the next rotation, is what you've gathered from your meetings with him.
Kind of just looked back like, oh yes, well, when I send the next batch, my good friend Harker will come, but it'll be very nice to meet new people. I think he mentioned where some of them might be. Wait, has he like give me like exact locations, or he just mentioned where some of them might be?
Where Harker mentioned?
Yeah, like when I go to visit him in prison.
Yeah, he would have given you the names of some of the halfway houses for sure. The halfway house mentioned in the starting situation, the Soothing Eve was one of them.
Does everyone want to go to the Soothing Eve?
Well, not all of them, because this is like the one in the dark.
It's a nice one.
It's a nice one. It's the largest one. It's the most operational one, and the arms of the Weeping Lady have a fairly extensive reputation throughout the city. They're not a cult, but they are a
Whoa! Hold on.
charity of sorts.
That's a good word. We should use that word.
I don't think they're in any position to say you can't. So.
I kind of just look at the group and tell them, That location, the nice one, the get distracted.
Would you like to go?
I would assume prisoners who were let out of prison are much nicer than sailors.
Well, what are we hoping to get from the prisoners, though?
Converts, I guess.
Well, if we talk to whoever is in charge, maybe he can help us turn these nice prisoners into adjusted sailors, so we can talk to the other person and get him to hire these people.
Oh, I see. I mean, I'm sure they're looking for reasonable employment. That sounds like a great gift on behalf of the church.
So they can have a small little dedication to our cause.
I'm sure they'll be glad to be sailors rather than what I hear they're for. Apparently, they are death land scavengers. Well,
You broke up a bit there, Mike. Could you repeat?
yeah, that's fine. I figured. My internet's been going weird today. But I was just explaining that they would probably be happy to jump on not being a death land scavenger over being a sailor. From their what the prison makes them.
Land or sea, anything outside the cities is pretty much a death trap.
It's just death.
Hey, they won't be in sound anymore.
True. So is
But
this?
they will be in a hell of their own creation.
Do we think this is the score then? The halfway house and converting prisoners, selling our ways to them.
Like you share the good word to Scotland and all the other great nations.
I mean, that sounds like a good enough score for me. I don't know about our lovely voice and our lovely face.
It blends pretty well, turning these two things into each other. My character he likes prisoners in this weird way where he thinks like, oh, they're out of prison, therefore they're reformed people. Totally not continue to be criminals. But he's fully on board to just talk to prisoners, because then again, he could just go to the prison and preach to them. They can't really do anything about it.
Alright. So I guess we'll set it up. We'll go after the halfway houses and convert.
Glorious.
Is that okay?
So
with
now, say what?
Is our Whisper okay, or Spider okay with this?
Is the spider okay with this?
Or Emerald?
Yeah. I'll be okay with it. For the sake of the party.
As unconvinced as you sound, we shall move forward with it. Now,
Our lovely voice should like to talk to some nobles instead of prisoners.
It's fine. Wherever there are prisons, there are wardens. So.
This is a halfway
and prison
house.
guards,
not prison.
Also important.
Yeah, I don't quite think a warden will be hanging out with his prisoners over at a halfway house.
Yeah.
Well, there have to be guards.
I don't think guards will be hanging out with them either.
Now, is the person who owns the ship, was he at one point considered very wealthy?
He owned the ship, yeah.
Now, the Pendant family are obscenely wealthy.
People think they're broke.
No, not really. The Pendrins are a member of the city council. They are the wealthiest people aside from the Lord Governor himself. They own the city.
I believe Claire, whatever her name is, was like making a joke.
Oh, making a joke. Okay.
Yeah, saying that they weren't wealthy.
Now I'm turning into my character. All these jokes are going over his head and mine.
Got him.
Either way, I'm pretty sure at one point is going to make our Whisper very happy that his pockets will be filled by rich boat owners.
Maybe. Things could go astray. Or awry, whichever.
We'll meet more wealthy people when we finally get to talk to the ship owners.
So I prefer how to build a store. I'm gonna build a store, but plan for our lovely GM would have to refresh us, or at least me.
I'm sorry, refresh you on what?
How to not make, but plan for a score. The score steps.
Yes, yes. As soon as we were ready, I was gonna jump in right into going over those. Are we ready?
Yep.
I am.
Very good, very good, very good. So, the first step for that is to record one die for sheer luck. You are scoundrels, you just kind of have this. Second question, and now I'm going to just ask a series of questions, and we shall add and subtract dice as it applies. So, is this operation particularly bold and daring?
No.
Depends
Maybe?
if prisoners are hard to, or former prisoners are hard to convert.
I guess it would also kind of depend, I guess, on how rowdy they are too.
Quick question. Look up his name again.
Well, if they have parole, I don't think they'd be that rowdy, you know?
No, yeah.
Does Harker believe in our religion? That's a quick question I need to answer.
Harker, not yet.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think anybody believes in our religion.
Just because you don't doesn't mean no one does. Calm
I am
down.
a devout follower of the council.
I can't say that.
Children.
Can't say that. Never mind. I'm not going to say that. Too much money. They will shut us down. I'll say it after the joke. If someone reminds me, I'll say the joke.
So I think we can record that as a solid 0 then.
Yeah, maybe maybe the follow-up, the next score might because of it, but this one not so much.
Yeah.
This operation overly complex or contingent on many factors.
I mean, we're convincing prisoners to become sailors, to sell sailors to a wealthy family to have people on their boat, so I'm guessing that is a little bit complex.
I think we're just trying to convert them right now.
Yeah, we're just kind of converting them. We're not that's really all it converting them of what is kind of complicated, but converting them is just the base action. I don't know. I don't think it's.
Because I think my character's idea in his head is he's going to convert these people and they're going to sail the seas to spread the word more.
Yeah, so for now, we're just converting. We're not converting them to be sailors. We're just converting them to be loyal to us and our goals. Or at least to the goals of our gods. Put air quotes.
Yeah,
Sounds like another 0 to me then?
Yeah.
It's not complex? Awesome.
I mean,
Does this plan's detail expose the vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest?
Mentally, yeah. They're in a halfway house. They need a job. They who knows what little they believe in right now.
They need sponsors.
They need a life.
any references.
If we sponsor their their parole, they get out. I don't know if that's how their criminal system works, but sponsors are good. Means people believe you'll change.
Sure.
All right. I'll take a +1 for that then. Is the target strongest against this approach, or do they have particular defenses or special preparation?
I would say this is because they need help right now. That's why they're in the halfway house. Did I cut out again?
I know we got you, but I mean, special defenses, that's really all a GM thing. We don't know if they have stuff in mind for this shit.
And I'm going to say they very much do not. You're all perfectly fine without that. Can any friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation? I think it's already resounded to be a yes. Harker is already giving you assistance on this.
Tell me where all the good houses are.
Are any enemies or rivals interfering in this operation? Let me have a look at who your rivals are again.
I don't think we have insight on that one.
Yeah, that would be on to me, I'm afraid.
And this is how we all died.
Yeah, it's very much.
He brought all of our rivals.
You guys didn't help yet. Let me have a look. Nah. And actually, yeah, there's going to be some interference in this.
Who is converting my people?
I don't know so much about converting, but I just checked our factions. I don't like the idea of the bell hooks being around.
God damn you bell hooks offering them good employment.
So, lastly but not least, are there any other elements you want to consider? Lower tier, higher tier, situations, anything particular you guys can bring to bear?
We don't know what their tier is, so we can't say, and otherwise I don't think so.
It mostly likely would be something comparable, at least, to the
dock citizenry.
Exactly, but I don't think that's really applicable here. They are not really citizens of the docks.
Oh wait, hold on. Don't they have the prisoners have their own citizenry with whatever the or their district is? Whatever it's called.
I don't know. Do they?
I would look if I could, but my computer's being an ass.
Let me have a look myself for them.
Oh, I think it might be on the fringe and not citizenry.
Iron Hook Prison is on there. I'm not gonna put the against that though. I'm gonna say no to that, and I don't think there's any special benefits as well that come screaming to mind by the sounds of things either. So, yeah, with that in mind, you can roll 2 dice on this. There should be a engagement roll on the crew sheet. Center 2 there and give it a spin.
Who's feeling lucky?
Who is feeling lucky? This is the question of the hour.
I think my mouse died.
not him then. he's not feeling lucky.
Clearly him. Clearly he's the one.
I don't know what I'm supposed to be clicking on, so.
I mean, I'm always feeling lucky, but.
You want to do it, Schemo?
Sure. Roll the
engagement.
Roll the hit.
The prep. Where's our cult sheet?
It should be under Wednesday night.
Okay, I see it.
And roll engagement with 2 dice.
2 dice. That's a lot.
It's not bad.
Oh.
That's a good number. That's a very good number.
This is why I roll the dice.
This is why you're the voice. Lord Skimmer.
Not bad. Not bad at all. So with a controlled position then, here's how this opening situation is going to begin. You're all making your way, though I do have a question. You do have a cohort. You bring them with you?
No, we don't need them.
The adepts are going to stay
cohort.
home?
For now.
Yeah.
I think 4 people can successfully.
I think this
Try
is
to control.
a simple in and out, nice little fun starting adventure.
If not, that's what flashbacks are for.
Perhaps.
Oh, pick our load. Shit.
Ah, yes, your loads. I always forget that step. My deepest fault.
Light. I'm gonna go light.
Normal
What repick? What?
or load. So if you go to your character page and you go right under your playbook name, you'll see load, light, normal, heavy, and you just pick one of those. You don't need to pick any of the other boxes like your special items or those normal items. Just pick light, normal, or heavy.
Oh. This is the amount of items I can carry?
Yeah.
Yeah, but don't pick the items yet because you pick them on the fly in case you need.
Oh, what are the consequences for picking them? I imagine there's going to be consequences for picking heavy over light.
How
Yeah, if you're heavy,
conspicuous.
you're going to be much more obvious, much more conspicuous. You are essentially going to look like you're a scoundrel out to cause trouble. Normal, you're typically going to look like, you might look a little suspect. You might, people might notice you're carrying something that normal people don't, but they're not going to question it too much. Light load, yeah, look like any other dude out there. It can also come into effect of how quickly you can move as well, but that's a little more hit and miss.
A good way to explain it might be: you ever played Payday?
Yes.
So 2-piece suit is light, ain't got no armor, ain't got nothing. Wearing just a bulletproof vest is normal. Wearing that big juggernaut suit's heavy.
Okay, so I understand the more shit you carry, it might be good for a fight, but the less shit you carry, you might be actually use the stealth mechanics.
Yes.
Oh boy. And we have, for future reference, can we use custom?
Custom? What?
The GM approves. Can we have items that aren't on this list?
Oh, absolutely. You'll have to craft some of them, most of them.
Okay.
There is an entire crafting system available, and we can talk about that at a later point as well.
I'm going to carry. I'm gonna go light.
I'm gonna go light as well.
I'm just gonna go normal.
Alright, so allow me to paint this picture for you. The very first thing you noticed as you were making your way to this halfway house, was it the soothing Eve you were going to, or was it a different one?
It
The
was
one that
that.
didn't.
I
Yeah, it was
thought
the
it
Eve. Not the one that everyone's been talking about.
Yeah. The very first thing you notice are the bill hooks. But they're having to take their time. The increased presence of the bluecoats in the district due to the events of the menagerie is forcing them to be a little bit slower, especially with, as you presume, them being out to recruit this night. Now, where this sort of leaves you is you know that they are going to get there, so you're essentially on a time limit, and that is going to be represented by this. Let's call this a 8 o'clock. It's right here. There we are. Bill hooks arrive. When that clock fills, the bill hooks will arrive on the scene and begin the work of their work of recruiting. You have until then and to essentially have the run of the place.
Are we at the building, or are they do we see them just walking about the town?
You first see them walking about town as you're sort of making your own way down there. But you arrive at the building first. It is one of the older buildings of the establishment. There's a particular type of building style that I unfortunately cannot remember the name of off the top of my head, but essentially is formed by mixing oyster shells and very primitive form of cement together. I think it starts with a T or something like that, but I can't remember. If anyone in the audience is familiar with colonial America building structures, please let me know. But this entire building, it's a 2-story building, but it is made of this. The walls are these clam shells fastened together in
Heavy.
stone, essentially.
Morgo would be tabby concrete.
I'm sorry?
It'd be tabby concrete.
Tabby! Thank you! Thank you. I knew it was a T. Yeah, so this tabby concrete style makes up the entirety of the building. There's windows, there's doors. It's a building. It's a fully functional building. It just has very sort of low budget, one might say, look to it overall. Inside, you can hear voices, men, women. Some are shouting, some are just kind of talking. There's a few people hanging out on the front porch as well that kind of eye you as you walk by, but not going to give you much attention. You'll make your way directly inside, or you're going to stop out front to begin your business there?
Is there a guard standing outside?
No, really, and guards, no.
But we see the bill hooks like in the distance or something.
You saw them as you were making your approach. They are essentially having to. Well, you guys took like a beeline there. They're having to like maneuver around blue coat patrols and whatnot. Stop and explain themselves, etc., etc. People know who the bill hooks are. The blue coats know who the bill hooks are. It takes them a bit more work to move around when things are like this.
Are there any blue coats nearby?
Not that you can see, though. If you want, you can make a roll for it.
Zal, I keep stepping over you.
I was gonna say, Songbird like turns to like probably Neo. I think maybe you could set up like a distraction or something to stall them a little bit, buy us some extra time in case we need it.
I could try. How early do you want it? I was planning on staying out here and chatting with some of these folks to keep an eye on our friends.
I think that should be fine for a little bit. I mean, if things go bad quickly, just give us a signal and we'll fix the matter. And she twitches and
I'll do my best. What kind of signal would you want?
do you know how to whistle?
Loud enough to be over these people? Probably not.
Well, I'll leave it in your hands. I'm sure you'll come up with something. And she starts maneuvering forward, assumably with Mako.
Yeah.
Question to the GM real quick.
Answer to the player real quick.
Are there nearby windows within arm's reach?
Of you?
Yes, or at least on the outside of the building.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
Okay, I have my signal.
GM, did you want me to roll a survey or study for finding blue coats nearby?
Survey would be the role for that. It's attempting to sense danger.
Risky, control, desperate. He's dead, Jim.
Oh, he couldn't have died.
I'm asking what position.
Our hero. He
no.
belongs to us.
Is the right honor to Rathu? Morco.
The rat lord. He's failed us. He's let the rats
no.
eat his PCs.
Devoured his Ethernet, his ether cable.
He is gone.
Oh, he was there for a second.
Okay, I have no idea what happened there.
I don't know.
You need to chain your rats better.
I apologize. The hamsters have stopped working. The wheel has stopped going. Yeah, no. It would be. Sorry. Where did I cut out?
I asked what position.
That would be standard position. So controlled position with a standard effect.
I'm not rolling good.
Unfortunately, yeah, no. So here's the beauty of a controlled position. You fail, so you can simply take the loss and suffer the minor consequence here. Or you can attempt this again, trying a different approach or trying the exact same method, but at a risky position.
My plan is to walk up to a blue coat and try to be friendly with him by saying, like, there's a lot of blue coats around here, aren't there? I mean, not bill hooks around here, isn't there? It's kind of dangerous for them to influence these prisoners, wouldn't it? Try to get him to...
I see where you're going with this. You'll have to, of course, locate the blue coat before you can do it.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull on his ear and be like, hey, maybe we should walk around the street a little bit more.
Maybe. So you want to try that survey again at the risky position?
Is there going to be a consequence for doing a risky position?
Oh yeah, it'll be a risky consequence.
Should I go for this?
Remember.
I mean, I am outside, ready to signal when they arrive.
Now, remember, you can push yourself, or I can present a devil's bargain.
This is a lot of things. You know what? I'm gonna just hold out and see if there's any guards. Maybe that if they recognize me from constantly going to prison, and just see if I can try to tell them to be like, "Hey, the bill hooks around. Maybe you should keep your prisoners away from them." But I'm gonna pass on this. I'm gonna take a risky position for something that our muscle can do. He needs blood for the blood god. That's what he needs to be doing.
Fair enough. Then we shall move forward. Those of you who just went straight inside, essentially what you find is it's a mess. The place isn't a complete and total dump, but very much like Clara's bar, which I have already forgotten the name of. Continuity will be a pain in this game. Sailor's Rest. Thank you. Yeah, so much like Sailor's Rest, it's not terrible, but it's not great either. It's a very bog standard sort of place. The furnishings are lackluster. The couches are tattered and torn from years of people using them. The walls have whatever wallpapers on them peeling off. The floorboards creak very noisily from just constant use and missettling of the foundations here in the docks. And there are people that are sitting on the floor, sitting in corners. There's lying on the ground, looking. Some of them actually looking kind of ill too. Some of them look like they are in desperate need of a fix of some kind, and others are just kind of passing time, playing with a knife, carving little figurines out of the stairway railing and whatnot, etc., etc. No one really pays you much mind as you enter. This is par for the course. People come and go all the time. So what do you do? How do you approach?
Is there a kitchen?
A kitchen. Yeah, there would be. It would be. For somewhere in the far back. You'd have to travel through the building a bit to find it, but you can smell some very poorly cooked food, and following your nose, you would find it.
Yeah, I think she trying to. Oh man, what could she put on right now? It's probably just tea for now or something. Like, just starts boiling some water and gets a bunch of like cups and stuff ready to like serve people some tea. She probably brought some like tea bags or whatever with her, like in part of her like purse or whatever, or part of her well, because she's probably wearing like a dress, so yeah, something like that to like set up some like to break the ice, set them on a good mood before Mako kind of goes into snake oil salesman mode.
Okay. So is there a role you'd be using for this?
Yeah, because we want to put them under a good mood. It's the effect of how well they receive it.
Very much, very much.
Are there any like guards watching them? Like out where we're at, or
Guards watching where you're at?
yeah.
Not particularly, but though some of the local some of the residents of the building are kind of eyeing you.
Well, I don't care about residents eyeing me if they don't have important papers. Why should they need to care about that?
Is tax evasion a crime in this world?
Tax evasion is probably. Can I?
Yeah, no, taxation is most certainly a crime in this world.
Do any of the people in here look like better dressed than the other ones? Like, are there people who aren't like raggedy as all hell?
There are some, yeah. Some. It's not much of a difference, but there is a difference between someone who looks like they're able to afford new clothes and then someone who's literally wearing rags and hand-me-downs.
All right, so yeah, I'll try and find, I guess, the best dressed person around and like strike up a conversation.
Okay. Now, I think you find an Aruvian man. He's wearing what seems to be fairly above average commoner clothing.
Mm-hmm.
How do you approach it? What he's doing is he's one of those who is carving a little totem of something out of a bit of what looks like driftwood in his hands.
Oh, that's important. I know that's a thing they do. I would like to approach him. Could I find someone who's not him? No, I'll approach him and I'll be like, you're a craftsman, my friend.
He looks up at you. I am. By hobby, at least.
Oh,
I do not recognize you. Who are you?
Oh, my name's Mako, and I'll like hold my hand to kind of like offer for a shake. I'm like, I'm a bit of what you might call a man of the people. You see, I very much enjoy getting these opportunities to come out and talk to other people. You see, I represent a certain organization. Perhaps you might be able to answer me this. So what are your beliefs, my friend?
Why are you interested in those?
Well, because I might have a more practical set of beliefs that might spark an interesting conversation between us here.
He's eyeing you warily. He's unsure what to make of you right off the bat. What are these beliefs?
Oh, come on, man. Well, it's very it can be very you see your figure you're carving there out of driftwood is, I assume it is of some sort of mythological or religious figure. Am I correct?
Nods.
It's not?
He nods.
Oh, he nods. You see, I represent sort of a universalist belief where the actual specifics of the individual's representation of their experience matters less, more so than the combined acceptance of our shared communal gathering of political of practical effects that we believe will enrich one's life further. Now, I'd be happy to explain more to you. And I, of course, I mean in no simple terms that this is a decision that can be taken lightly, or that I demand that, oh, you should listen to what I have to say and ignore whatever you wish to believe on your own. I'm just interested in sparking curiosities and encouraging an open mind and different perceptions of the religious truth that combines us all. I take out a piece of paper that has a little logo, and the what did I say earlier? The something of the Harrowed Council. The children, yeah, the children, and I pull a little slip of paper that has the logo, and it says the children of the Harrowed Council on
Cult
it.
of the Harrowed Council.
Huh? The what?
Cult of the Herald Council. Or
no, we're not a cult.
Charity.
Charity?
And hand him like a little
He's
piece
trying
of
to
paper.
not colted in public. He's trying to make it look like
It says the children of
real
the
religion.
Harrowed Council, and I say, now, my friend, of course, you seem like an open-minded sort, and I don't mean to overstay my welcome or overextend my boundaries. I merely ask that you consider what I've said here and hold on to that scrap of paper, so that next we meet, we might be able to hold a deeper conversation about the truths of the metaphysical plane of existence that binds life.
So roll here.
Can I roll consort?
Consort. Had lesser effect than he would with a sway, because you're definitely trying to change his mind here.
I'm just trying to get a foot in the door, but I can roll sway if it means a better effect. What's the position?
I'd still say you're under control. You're looking at standard here. You made an interesting case to this guy, but he's got his own beliefs.
Get an assist.
Yeah, I'll take an assist.
How are you assisting?
The tea I made.
Ah, so that's being passed around by now?
Yep.
Yeah, he's a Ruvian. He enjoys his tea.
I'll also, in addition, is there a devil's bargain here?
Is there? There is. You've given him a token of your faith. He is going to do the same in return to you.
That doesn't sound too bad. Sure.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and see that roll then.
2 extra dice.
Yes.
Wham. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Nice.
That's a 6.
That's a 6, so there is no consequence. He takes the paper from you, and he looks it over, studying it intently. And he looks back at you and nods. I will seek you out then. Yeah. And he passes you the little effigy you've been carving. May she watch over you and give you all the revenge you desire.
Yes, revenge. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry too much about it. I don't. There's very few people I would take revenge on.
As you take the little idol from him. You do take it from him, yes?
Yeah, I'll take it from him. I don't want to.
You feel like this weight in your hand as you hold, exceeding that of simple drift.
Mm-hmm.
And he nods, gives you like a little kind of customary Aruvan cultural half bow, and then turns and saunters off, essentially.
Okay.
All right. Is there anything special you do next?
Well, what's going on outside?
Outside, nothing of note. Whoa. Or were some of you still outside? All of you had walked in, if I remember correctly.
They all except for us or yes, Neo.
That should still be outside. Okay, I thought maybe Rayford stayed outside too.
No, I'm inside. I'm looking for like the most strung out person who's like on the ground. Looking for the most susceptible person to the thing I'm about to do.
Interesting. And we'll come back to that, I think, in next week's session. We are running out of time, and we still need to get through our experience for tonight as well. So, with that little note there, I will say one last thing. Mako. As you pocket this little female-looking icon, essentially, that's made of this very dark black wood, the weight that was in your hands doesn't seem to go away. All that tiny little bit of forebodingness. Let us go through crew XP. So, you advance the agenda of your deity or embody its precepts in action?
I think so, yes.
A little bit, yeah.
You haven't completed it yet, but I would argue that yes, you have been very much looking forward to advance that has been the focus of this entire session. So, whoever would like to can go ahead and mark 1 XP on the crew sheet for that. Who is willing to volunteer for that?
I gotcha. Where's the crew sheet?
I'm still loading.
Character sheet. Alright, where's this experience? Oh, it's rep. Bam. Oh wait, no, it's crew advancement. Oh no. Alright, 1 on the crew advancement.
Alright. You contend with challenges of your current station.
Did we?
Not yet, not until we fight the bill hooks.
Unfortunately, yes, you couldn't get in contact with Blue Coats either. That would have helped you there. Did you bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one? Reminding you that your reputation at the moment is brutal.
That's right.
Plan on collecting debts in the future.
No.
But we haven't done anything.
No, it's a lot of not yet.
Yes,
unfortunately. And then lastly, then, did you express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew?
Yep.
We've done so multiple times throughout the whole session.
The goals of the crew are on full display throughout all of this, and there was a beautiful little conflict between Rayford and Mako in regards to who it should be that you should be targeting. So if you wish to mark 2 XP for that, feel free to do so. That will take us on to the characters next. Rayford, we'll begin with you.
Alright.
You roll. I don't believe you rolled. No one rolled any desperate, so you're going to skip over that for the entirety of the future. And do you address the challenge? I'm sorry?
There was 1 desperate for Mako, but that's it. Oh no, that was his dummy roll he threw away at the start of the game before we even did the session. Never mind.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay. I was confused there for a second. Rayford, did you address the challenge with deception or influence?
I did convince Clara, who was kind of doubtful of me, to lend us a favor and we do her a favor. Does that count? Because I had a roll for it. I pushed myself for that.
No, that's at least worth 1. Yeah, there's a bit of influence there you were doing.
That be my resolve.
That would be put into anywhere. Any one of the tracks: insight, prowess, resolve, or the playbook.
I'm gonna go with resolve.
Excellent. Do you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
I definitely expressed my belief in our religion, I guess, but I don't think that counts, considering we can all just do that.
It still does count. Perhaps
Yeah,
not
I
as
think
much
it would
as
still
you,
count.
but it absolutely does count.
I don't mention that blood smelled like my home.
Mmm. Very nice, yeah.
And
That was a
I
very interesting tidbit.
also made my race very clear that I am a Sakarosi. Always
Yes.
changing my face. I don't know if these are
Yes.
cheap answers or not.
No, they are perfectly acceptable. That's why that one guy went and singled you out.
Alright, cool. So, how many did I get?
That'd be 2 total for that. Again,
Okay.
put up anywhere you want, split up however you want.
Alright, 1 in insight and 1 in resolve.
And lastly, did you struggle with your vice traumas during this session?
No. I did not.
Unfortunately, no. That has yet to come into play. So, moving on to our next player. That would be... I've lost players, somehow.
Songbird.
Yeah, Songbird. That'd be you, Mr. Zalkary. Our wonderful, wonderful Twitch host. Subscribe to Zalkary on twitch.tv.
That's right. Start shelling.
The shilling shall continue. But did you address the challenge with audacity or cunning?
No, I had 1 XP, and it's for Blue Star's heritage or background. Nothing for the rest of it until we get
That's
more into
unfortunate, but
whatever.
that is unfortunate, but being upfront about that is fair enough. We'll just go ahead and move on then to Mako.
Yeah, I've marked 3 XP, 1 for addressing challenge with calculation or conspiracy, because I don't think I really did that too much, but I feel like I approached I feel like approaching trying to find like the most best dressed people in areas, or trying to find the people who are running things and talking to them kind of feels like calculation conspiracy, so I've marked 1 for that. And then expressing belief strides heritage or background, I think that kind of comes off as an offshoot of like the argument, like the like sort of back and forth that I had with Rayford, and with kind of how I interacted with several other people, is that I kind of like my character, I felt kind of came out. Oh, also I wanted to note, since we got to the end of the score, while we're walking back to our base,
We didn't finish the score.
we aren't finished with the score.
Yet.
No,
No.
we're-
Oh no,
To
okay,
be continued.
To be continued.
it's a TBC thing. Gotcha.
Yes, the Burning Crusade.
Well then, I will save this for when next time when we finish the score.
Let's make a note of it, and we shall come back to it. So, that's all from you then. We will move on to Nios. I am not going to try to pronounce that last name.
Neos, fine. So I don't think I've done any violence or coercion. I've done threats of violence, but no actual.
No attempt to actually make anything manifest. No challenge was addressed with violence or coercion yet, unfortunately.
Yeah. I have incurred violence. My beliefs, drives, and heritage at the beginning, I guess, would be one of them, where I said, if they're not with us, they'll just disappear.
Yes.
Or I very much intend to, if they don't go and join the cult when we come knocking, it'll be the end of the road for them. And then I guess later on, when the lady asks about the other job might be applicable, that job might be applicable from a want for violence, but I don't know if that would be a drive or not.
I think that would be applicable for a drive there.
Otherwise, I get nothing but those two.
Yeah, I think it will just be the 2 XP for you from at least Tyler's heritage background as well.
Alright.
Yeah. That will conclude our session with just a handful of minutes left to spare. So, with that all said and done, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for tuning in to watch our broadcast. Subscribe to Twitch TV/Zalkreef for more RPG goodness. Hang out with us. We have more stuff up and coming this very week. We return to StarCraft on Fridays.
Yeah.
And within, around the start of next month, I think, though it is still up in the air, I admit, we will be returning to a galaxy far, far away for Season 2 of Star Wars. We also have other things in the pipeline as well, other plans that we will be looking to move forward with. And we are very excited to see them manifest as they do. So, thank you very much for tuning in. We hope to see you again, and have a great night. Bye-bye.